take it with both hands, right? That's green. Let's get Nimesh in. As usual, he's got lots of chatter with us and lots of stocks to talk about, including a specific one on Bajaj Finance. Nimesh, I'll get to that in just a bit. But what's the word out there? I guess it's a very decent way to start the week, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. A decent pullback, so to speak, trading with a positive bias. But I guess that's helping because of the very strong global cues. So I guess India's only playing that momentum on the back of the global risk on. So that's pretty much there. But from a flow perspective, again, it's a mixed day of trade. It's 1:1 is what I understand. But interestingly, there is a bit of buying interest back in the private bank stock. So that one specific sector is seeing some bit of buying interest today. Pharma has done well, but I guess the overhang of the tariff still persists, and that will get a clarity only on April 1st. So while the stocks are buzzing, keep a watch on the tariff overhang, at least in the very near term. I guess the advanced tax number could be an interesting data to watch out for. The feedback is that at least some sectors like banks and some large corporates have reported a growth YOY in terms of advance tax payments. So maybe that could be a added fillip for some certain sectors to do well in the very near term. And also towards the year end, you might see a bit of index management as well. So that's something to keep an eye on. Technically now, 22,800 will act as a very strong resistance on the upside. We've taken a 21,800 as a strong support. Now 22,800 will act as a very strong resistance. So that's the level to watch. But broadly, I guess it's a mixed day from a flow perspective. But I guess we are just seeing a bit of momentum on back of global cues.
Thank you. And what about stocks, Nimesh?
Well, so in terms of individual names, the first stock on my list is Power Grid. Selectively you're seeing a bit of churn within the PSU names, and today Power Grid stands out on back of very strong buy flow. So while the stock is consolidating, I understand there is very strong demand from larger FIs in Power Grid today. So that's the first name. The second stock is Glenmark. Again, while the pharma is doing good today, Glenmark stands out because it's been buzzing in the last couple of days. And also for Glenmark, I understand there could be a corporate development very soon. Likely a potential, monetization of one of the molecules is what the buzz is as far as Glenmark Pharma is concerned. So that's the second stock. The third name is Varun Beverages. We spoke about Jubilant FoodWorks last week when I indicated that could be a small block coming in. But for Varun Beverages, the stock is buzzing on back of buy flows. Also, the expectation is that this quarter could be quite strong in terms of volume growth. And additionally, I've understood that maybe there could be a small, disclosure of promoter buying of late in Varun Beverages. So that is something to track there. And the last name is Dixon Technologies. Again, while the stock has been under pressure of late, the sell flows continues. What I understand, some domestic mutual funds seems to be seller out there. And interestingly, today there is a Goldman Sachs note as well, and they believe that they maintain a sell, and they believe that the upside looks quite limited because of potential. The earnings could be at capped in the very near term. So that's the reason why Goldman maintains a sell call. But largely there is selling as well from domestic mutual funds in Dixon.
Okay, three on the sort of buy side and one perhaps a little negative, right? Dixon.
Yeah.
It's the last one. Bajaj Finance, Nimesh. What are you picking up?
Well, Prashant, there is an interesting note from Morgan Stanley today on Bajaj Finance. It's a kind of they've written a catalyst-driven idea as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned. They have an overweight rating with a target price of 9,300. But I feel it's going to be a bit of a binary event for Bajaj Finance to track for the next 2 weeks. Why I'm saying is because Rajiv Jain's role gets over on 31st of March. So that there has to be a clarity on what next role he's going to take as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned. Remember in the Q3 con call, Rajiv Bajaj and the management quite vocally said that he would like to continue in some form if the board approves it. So next 2 weeks are going to be quite crucial as to what happens with the change of guard at Bajaj Finance. Morgan Stanley has put out a couple of scenarios with regards to this. The first scenario is that he continues in some form in Bajaj Finance. If that is the case, then Morgan expects another 5 to 8% or 10% upside even from current levels on the stock price. So that's the first scenario. The second scenario is while he's there in some role of Bajaj Finance, he also takes up a role in Bajaj Finserv, which is the parent company. Even in that case, Morgan expects a 5 to 10% upside from current levels on the stock price. Having said that, the third scenario, which is a very less likely, according to the Morgan notice, he only takes up a role in Bajaj Finserv and no active role in Bajaj Finance. In that case, the stock may see a reaction of 5 to 8% on the downside. So, which is why I said, it's a kind of a binary event to track for Bajaj Finance over the next 2 weeks from here on. The most important trigger is what happens to Rajiv Bajaj and what role he takes up in Bajaj Finance. That's going to be a key trigger for the stock performance in the near term.
Okay, all right, Nimesh, thank you very much for that. Interesting one, and it's a event-driven thing, so it's a bit binary in that sense, and more kind of sort of a trading idea coming in from Morgan, just putting out the scenarios. 85.81 on Bajaj Finance. Mitesh is with us to tell us what to buy or sell today for a reverse trade tomorrow.